Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. Now for today's episode, I want to talk about the latest update on Emeka Ike's marital issues. Now, we all have been saying that we want the ex-wife to talk, and boy, she has spoken up. She granted an interview with Chude, and it has been explosive. Just a few hours ago, the interview was released, and I think I don't even know how to feel. And the first thing that came to my mind was those who live in glass house should not throw stones. Emeka, this is you're just trying to rise up from the ashes, and you used your ex-wife. This has come back to bite you, and I don't even know how to react to this, because this woman made so many allegations that there's no way you would want to doubt what she's saying. This is her experience. This is her lived experience. Whether she's exaggerating the way Emeka Ike is exaggerating, we don't know. But these two people are coming out to tell their own version of the story, and I feel I've been traumatized. Like, listening to what she has to say is so shocking and I think relatable, because in as much as we want to say, this is something that couldn't happen, or, oh my God, the Emeka cannot do something like this, we know somebody. We know one Suzanne out there. We know one, from a family, from friends, from neighbors. We all know that woman that has been in an abusive relationship or abusive marriage, and some of them couldn't get out of it. The fact that Suzanne was able to get out of that marriage and still maintain her silence. I mean, this woman has been silent for over 10 years. Now, I think I'm just rambling up. Let me just give you a background. For those of you who are watching me for the first time, or for those of you who are just coming across this story for the first time, we're talking about Nollywood actor Emeka Ike. Emeka Ike went out of circulation for over 10 years, or over 13 years basically, and he recently came back into the screen via Toyin Ayimaku or Toyin Abraham, and then he went for media rounds and people started asking him, because for over 13 years he had issues with his wife. They were divorced. It was a messy divorce. Kids were involved. They have 4 kids, and Emeka Ike relocated to Germany, where he remarried, had 2 other children with this woman, but his ex-wife and children are in Nigeria. Emeka Ike basically shuttles between Germany and Nigeria. Now, Emeka Ike started talking about the issues regarding, to give him credit, they actually asked him what happened, and he literally talked about that. He said the ex-wife took everything he had, the ex-wife did this, the ex-wife did that. So people were thinking, how powerful could this woman be? Like, if your ex-wife took every document you had, took every money, rendered you penniless, like, who was that? Like, how? Is she connected to the governor? Is she connected to this? Like, people were now thinking she must be powerful, or she must come from a powerful home. Now, everybody was now thinking, okay, we need this woman to talk. We need to hear from her. A friend of ours actually released a voice note which she sent to Gist Lover, basically. And I talked about that in my former video. I'll leave the link in the description box so that you can catch up on that. But Emeka Ike, during his media rounds again, went to TVC and said, still talked about the same issue, talked about how women are believed in terms of domestic violence, because according to the wife, he physically assaulted her. So people were thinking, okay, he denied everything, said that she was lying, basically. So the women said they are going to invite her to come to the show and tell her own side of the story. And he was like, she's never going to come to your show, because if she comes and talks anything, he is going to release everything. He's going to talk. Like, you could see that, like a demon possessing him, and he was spitting all those things out. People were thinking, Emeka, why are you still granting interviews? You've been divorced for how many years? You've been separated for over 10 years. Divorced for, I think, I don't know how long you've been divorced. what is the issue? You are back in the media. Why don't you just leave that issue and say, oh, that's my past, I'm moving on. Like, just leave it alone. When this whole thing was going on, the ex-wife, Suzanne, reached out to Chude, who is a podcaster, a YouTuber. Chude is very successful in, interviewing people. So she reached out to him and said she wanted to tell her own side of the story. And boy, I don't even know how to feel. You know how you listen to somebody and it's familiar. Like, you know that person. You've heard that person. You know somebody, a family friend, or you know somebody who have been in that situation. Listen, it was so familiar. Like, I was like, wow. There's no way this woman will sit down here and cook up all these stories. She said all these things Emeka is saying is lie. The reasons why they couldn't do, even with the school, they couldn't complete the school, they couldn't do what they were supposed to do was because Emeka is on drugs. He takes meth. She said she didn't know about the meth addiction. It was the children that actually told her that they found his paraphernalias, and that was when she realized that, oh, that is where all the money was going. That is where all, like, the school part of it, Emeka is claiming 400 and something million. She said that was not the figure he claimed maybe 10 years ago. He claimed about 100 and something million 10 years ago. She said that money they spent for the school because they rented like a long-term lease to an uncompleted building, which they were supposed to complete and then move into the place. They didn't spend up to, she said, maximum 20 to 30 million was all was spent on that. And they were still owing money because so she said monies were supposed, and he made her not to work. She said she met him. Like, I'm just jumping this whole story because it's like it got to me. It got to me. She said they met when she was 18 years old. She just finished secondary school. She was modeling, and she met this guy because she wanted to get into the movie industry. Emeka then was already big in the industry, so she wanted to get into the industry through him. At some point, they started dating, and he told her not to work, not to, like, why would she get into the industry? They will be writing about him, they will be writing about her, that the relationship will not work. And he told her that he wanted to marry her, so they should just focus on their relationship and forget about her acting. And at that point, she actually wanted to, an agency approached her because she was into modeling. An agency approached her and told her they wanted to sponsor her for Miss Nigeria. That was 1999. Emeka kicked against it. He said no, that's what if she doesn't win. This guy literally groomed this woman from 18 years. She said when they got married was when she was about 24 and pregnant with their second child. You know how you just come out of secondary school? You've not even written JAMB. You're just modeling, maybe waiting for the next JAMB cycle, and then you meet this successful actor and you're thinking, okay, I want to get into the movie industry. This person can help me. Only for that person to get you pregnant. Get you pregnant, keep you at home. She said even the marriage, that it was even his sister's husband that stood in for him because he was on location, acting movies. They did not even bring anything for bride price. She said the family literally catered for everything. The bride price was not paid, but they did the traditional stuff. He was not even the one. Like, she's not even married to this guy because the drink was actually given to his sister's husband. The way people take spiritual things for a joke, I don't understand. I don't understand. But that was the situation. Now, Emeka, she said he was very abusive. You need to just sit down and watch the interview with Chude. Check it out on YouTube. You will be shocked. I am shocked. Like, I cannot believe that. Yes, we know that people go through these things. We've seen people go through these things. We know people who have gone through these things. But the fact that Emeka is coming out, calling out his wife, bashing her with his full chest, after everything he has done to this lady, It's unbelievable. It's shocking. And the families, from what she said, the families were supporting him. They stood by him. Even the mother was fighting her own mother. You could see that this whole thing is just dysfunctional. Why? She was 18 years old. He was her first boyfriend. He was her first everything. Emeka. The only song that kept ringing in my head is those who live in glass house don't throw stones, but if they do, the creator storm they can't control. So what next? After the storm, we don't know what's going to happen, because Emeka has threatened that he is going to come back and provide evidence if the wife ever grants an interview. Grab your popcorn, guys, because Emeka is crazy. And for the fact that, listen, my first video was saying that Emeka was fighting everybody. There was a problem that we did not know about. He was fighting AGN. He was fighting, like, he was high on something. Emeka was high on meth, according to the wife. This is sad. I pity her. Like, that is her experience. Like, we cannot take away from people's experiences. Even if Emeka comes out now and says his own thing, I just think these two people were not meant for each other. They were not, because Emeka could have gone through his own challenges, because according to her, she called him, there was a word, these kind of people that would tell you something and you would just go crazy. I'm not saying that was what happened in that situation, because there is no reason for you to put your hands on anybody. But according to her, he says things to her that she wanted to commit suicide. She attempted suicide 3 times. 3 times. And Emeka too said he attempted suicide. So you could see that these two people were never meant to get married. But because Emeka, he was young, he saw this half-caste, beautiful model, he wanted to have her to himself, which he did. But was he ready for marriage? Was he prepared for the responsibility? Was he matured enough to understand what being a husband is? I don't think, even she herself, she was 18 years old. I don't think she was prepared to be a wife. I think according to her, the family were accusing her that, oh, you saw a celebrity, you wanted to be with a celebrity. I think I don't even know what to think, because when I was 19 years old or when I was 18 years old, I know marriage was never part of, I can't just imagine marrying my first boyfriend. Like, this disaster would have been a joke. Their story would have been a joke, because I don't think people marrying their first boyfriends, I don't think it turns out nice, because regardless of how long they've been, we are talking about May Edochie and Yule Edochie. We know how that turned out to be. So it's about understanding yourself, knowing yourself. I don't know. I think this whole thing is still unfolding. I will keep bringing you updates, because I am very emotionally, physically invested in this in this story, and I will keep bringing you updates as the whole thing unfolds. We are waiting for Emeka right now to come out and tell his own side of the story. He has threatened to bring out evidence if the wife ever says anything. Please go watch that interview with Chude and just have an open mind. I think I'm emotionally biased in this situation, because I could see people I know in her, but have an open mind and make your own judgment for yourself. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.